Alright, now how you doing? Good, I'm glad you come on actually, because I want to ask you a question. You know your BBC computers. Is the Acorn Electron basically a cut down version of the BBC Micro, or is there some major differences? You're alright, yeah, go, you can come down. Right, when it comes down to games, like comparing the BBC to the Acorn Electron, is there like any real difference? I know obviously as you said, it's comes down to like the RAM and being probably a slower speed. I mean, graphically it looks pretty much the same, doesn't it? Okay, just say for instance, Striker's Run on the Acorn Electron, is it a big difference from the BBC version? I'm not talking about the enhanced version on the BBC Master. Is it just a case of it might just be a bit slower on the Acorn Electron? But graphically it'd probably be the same, with same colours and all that. Just want to know if there's a difference. What's that? Da-da. What's that mean? Okay, but would you say there was a significant difference? Just say if I had both computers, a BBC Micro and a Acorn Electron, I decided to load up a game on each system. Would I notice any significant graphic enhancements? Would I notice massive? What I want to know, would I notice massive differences? Because obviously the speed of the BBC is probably faster. But what I want to know is like graphical differences, anything like that. All right, Jay, how you doing? All right, oh, that's good. Oh, brilliant. Oh, they are identical, so graphically it's not a lot of no difference, but obviously probably going to notice the speed. Because I was always under the assumption that the Acorn Electron was basically a cut down and cheaper version of the BBC Micro. All right. Oh, excellent. That's a good project. Oh, right. So the difference is basically scrolling and flip screen. Well, the reason why I'm asking this, because I've got a subscriber asking me to review, you know, I think it was ages ago, I reviewed Striker's Run. I reviewed the enhanced version. Yeah, I bet it's going to be colourful. Sounds good. There's, yeah, someone's saying, well, why don't you review the Acorn Electron version? I'm just thinking, what's the point if I've reviewed the BBC version, the enhanced version? It's going to be better. But he's adamant that is different, so I don't know. And not only that, can you load up, I think you can load up Electron games on the BBC? He won't listen. The thing is, I've been trying to tell him that I've reviewed the enhanced version on the BBC Master, but he won't have it. He just wants, oh, can you really? I say, I ain't got an emulator. Oh, I can get you an. I just thinking, what's the point if I've already done the enhanced version, which is probably going to be the best version. I mean, if there's differences. Okay. I honestly don't know why. He obviously thinks there's differences, but I don't know. Yeah, at least you know. It's a bit windy now, but you know, he's saying there's differences. So I'm not gonna get an Acorn Electron emulator just to play a game. You know what I mean? I've got the BBC emulator for that. It is different. Well, I think it'll load up on the BBC emulator. I don't have an emulator. The reason why I ain't got an emulator, I was never bothered with it because it's pretty much the same as the BBC. Of what I've seen, it's basically what I've seen of the Electron. It's basically an inferior version of the BBC. So that's why I just don't bother. I didn't bother with it. That's what I mean. That's what I said. If it loads up on the BBC, then I won't need to get an emulator because I can just run it all off the BBC emulator. I mean, that's why I was asking you, just to see if there's any differences, any significant differences. Is it basically just all Electron games are just more inferior than the BBC games? Being that the Electron was based on basically a cut down version of the BBC to save, you know, make it cheaper. All right. I mean, I can have a look. I mean, I probably might try and get an emulator just to see if there's any significant differences. Yeah, it's one big. It's probably down to, you know, because they wanted to make a cost-produced version. you know, because the BBC computer was quite expensive for its time. So they basically made a cheaper version of it by stripping it completely down. Yeah, as you say, save money. So I just cut off there. Why is it missed? Okay. So basically, I'm going to have a worse gaming experience on the Electron. I mean, I think BBEM might emulate the Electron. I don't know. I have to have a look at that. I know it can emulate the BBC Micro and BBC Master. I don't know. I have to look at that. See if it can. Oh, it can. Oh, yeah, it can. Oh, that's good. Oh, that saves. Oh, that saves a lot of hassle then. And was it more compact? Did it have joystick games? Because obviously a lot of BBC games didn't support joystick. I can't remember what I said now. I mean, if there's a lot of differences, then I'd say yeah, I'll look into the Electron. But if there's hardly any difference, if basically it's basically inferior to the BBC, and their games are going to be more inferior to the BBC, then that's what I mean. I just didn't see the point. All right. Yeah, the BBC had a, I don't know, it didn't use a standard joystick connector, did it? I don't know, I only remember the BBC briefly from school because we didn't really have a lot of BBCs at our school. We had the research machine, link computers, I remember, the 480Zs. But there was a few BBCs there. Let's go this way. Still there, no? Hang on a minute. Hang on. Hang on, where? I'm here. Trouble is, my chat stopped working. Right, well... Hang on, bloody hell. Right. Bloody hell, you've been chatting and I ain't been getting a chat. Hang on a minute. What have I bloody missed? Right. Using same joystick as the BBC. That's the last one message I got. Same joystick as the BBC, and I missed all this other chat. Was it still there? BBC. Right. No, I don't use RetroPie. I do have a Raspberry Pi, but I never use it. But Raspberry Pi, I never use. It's no point. I can emulate everything using my PC. Everything I want, I can use my PC for. So nah, don't bother with. Don't need Raspberry Pi. I've got a Raspberry Pi I've had for about 8 years, but I never use it. Oh, right. Oh, bloody hell. Right. Right. Up to date, yep. Right. I thought everyone had gone. Right. Never heard you so quiet. Right, here we go. Right. Last message. RC, just thought I might be in. Oh, okay. Right, I'm up to date now. For some reason my chat stopped working. I thought everyone had gone. I like to refresh it just to make sure. Right, okay. Let's refresh it again, make sure. Okay. Here we go. I mean, I could probably, if my BBC emulator supports Acorn, then I can use that. If not, I can. If it's a big deal, which I don't think it is, I think he's making a big deal out of it. He's trying to request me that game. Then I'll do it. But what I see is just the Acorn Electron's just an inferior version of the BBC Micro. I don't know. He might have had an Electron, maybe that might be the reason, but it's rare that I get requested Electron games. But he commented on the Q Master video, and he's commented before, you know. But but he seems like it's a completely different system from the BBC. It's like I'm probably going to get something better, but I know damn well it's an inferior machine, so it's going to be worse. This is what I couldn't understand, because I've reviewed the best version on that system, which you requested ages ago. That's what I couldn't understand. When I sent him the link to that, he didn't want to know. I mean, if it was a completely different system, yeah, I would understand. If it was like say the Commodore 16, I know it's different from the Commodore 64. They're not compatible with each other. Or VIC-20, they're not compatible. They're 3 different machines. But I know that the Electron is basically a cut down version of the BBC Micro. That's gone again, is it? No, still working. I don't mind the BBC. Well, I meant the computer, not the actual station. There's some, you know, it had some originals on there, which, you know, I didn't mind. No, I don't mind the BBC computer. Even though I've got about 2% nostalgia for it. Yeah, there's a lot of dodgy websites out there. I thought you already had it. Ah, right. Okay. think the last time I played that is when I reviewed it. I only ever played it once. Don't even know if I still got it. Oh, Soul Cresta. I suppose you like that if you're a fan of like the Terra Questa games. And I did play Terra Questa on my friend's Commodore 64 back in the day. It's only the only way I knew about it. Scotland. I'll tell you what, I'm starting to feel it now. Really starting to feel it. So I'll probably know. I think my reception. Well. Haggis. No, I wouldn't touch haggis. So how was your weekend up where you went to your Ken? Funny thing is I can see it perfectly through my screen. Been quite horrible. Well, damp, overcast. It's been all right. No rain today though. There.